Here's a fair assessment that no one will argue with. Onion is one weird, crazy-ass kid. What makes Onion so creepy? Aside from the various different things we've seen from him, such as harboring a mouse in his mouth, making a mashed potato head of Steven, and then subsequently licking and spitting it out, the creepiness level of Onion goes far deeper than that. To trace Onion's creepiness to its source, we first have to look at what sparked the creation of such a strange character. Now, most of what I'm about to say is purely speculation based on the wealth of knowledge that I have of cartoons. At the end of this theory analysis video, you'll have to draw your own conclusions as to whether or not there is some truth to the points I am about to explore, as well as do your own research. Let's go back to the year 1985. The Topps Company released a series of trading cards known as Garbage Pail Kids, which was a comical parody of the Cabbage Patch Kids dolls around the same time. These Garbage Pail Kids have been likened in behavior to Onion. Anyone that's seen the 1987 film Garbage Pail Kids can attest to that. Anyway, these stickers and trading cards featured kids who had abnormalities, oftentimes suffered terrible fates, with humorous play-on-word names. One of the artists of the popular series was Jay Lynch. He was one of the main writers for Bazooka Joe comics way back when and also contributed to Mad Magazine. Jay Lynch was also the creator of a character known as Zippy the Pinhead, a character who some might consider shared the same traits as Onion. One of Zippy's favorite food packets was taco packets. Onion seems to have an affinity for ketchup packets. Zippy's unpredictable behavior oftentimes caused severe difficulty for others, but never for himself. Onion has shown many signs of unpredictability to the point where the Crystal Gems needed to get involved and stop him. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, these are all coincidental. How and where do you see the correlation between Garbage Pail Kids, Zippy the Pinhead, and Onion? Well, let me paint you a nice fancy little flowchart here. At the top, we have our creepy friend Onion. Throughout the show, Onion has shown elements that are reminiscent of Garbage Pail Kids, who are unapologetically disgusting and gross, along with exhibiting lackadaisical actions and a mentality similar to Zippy the Pinhead. Now, the connective tissue here is Jay Lynch, the creator of Zippy the Pinhead. He played a key role in the underground comics movement, and his distinctive style of drawing as a cartoonist is fairly recognizable. In her early years, Rebecca Sugar was inspired by the underground comics movement. Many have even compared some of her early work to John Kay or R. Crumb stylistically. Who else has had this comparison? Jay Lynch. So that's right, a young Rebecca Sugar was inspired by these artists, all of these artists, John Kay, R. Crumb, and Jay Lynch. Some of her early works, such as Don't Cry For Me, I'm Already Dead, take stylistic cues from some of R. Crumb and Jay Lynch's early work. In fact, some of Sugar's animations practically scream John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy, another cartoon pair that were known for being quite disgusting in nature and just plain creepy. So how does this relate back to Onion? It is my speculation based on the facts I've gathered that Onion is in fact inspired by the early workings of Jay Lynch's character Zippy the Pinhead, and to a certain extent his work with the Garbage Pail Kids. Onion can be looked at as an amalgamation of all these different characteristics represented in the workings of John Kay, R. Crumb, and Jay Lynch. In fact, if you've ever seen the 1987 film Garbage Pail Kids, it's undeniable that Onion and his gang would fit in perfectly with those creepy, disgusting kids from another planet. In fact, is that supposed to be Onion right there? Ugh. Putting all this aside, the physical semblances of Zippy and Onion are there. Look at those oddly shaped heads, the tuft of hair, those doe eyes that harbor an evil, sinister being inside. Onion is a creepy creeper, but he was built that way and inspired by various other cartoonists and their take on creepy characters. Onion's true motives within the Steven Universe series? Well, that's another theory for another day. What's your thoughts on this and Onion? Do you agree with the notion of him being one creepy-ass character? I definitely recommend anyone who wants to further explore some of the facts laid out here to check out the abysmal film Garbage Pail Kids. But I must warn you right now, Take everything you know about Onion and heighten it by 10. It's one gross, disgusting film. Probably have nightmares. You'll dig it though. That and Zippy the Pinhead. Let me know how you feel about Onion down below. Like this video if you liked it. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.